What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
Heyo! What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Took a little week off.
Yes,
Go.
yes.
What is this now? Episode what? We got to keep track. We're bad at it.
I don't want to keep track.
You don't want to keep track? You just want to be surprised?
Nope. Let it flow.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to ruin that shit for you right now. Episode 50. Let's go. The milestone episode.
Hey, big 5-0.
Yep. Getting up
52
there.
is the real big milestone.
Oh, how do you figure?
It's a full year.
That's fair. Makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
Dusty's always coming in with the facts, you know?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, gentlemen. I don't use social media much anymore these days, really. Like anything. Haven't been on Facebook in God knows how long. I don't
Except
really
that
use...
one, right?
Except what?
Except that one.
What do you mean?
TikTok?
Oh, I use TikTok like when I take a shit, but that's hardly social media. That's just for like, I watch funny videos on there.
Right.
That's just like a little boost of dopamine, you know what I'm saying? It's just like funny, political.
Yeah.
And then I'm wiping, you know? But
Yep.
regular social media, I don't use. Instagram, barely go on it anymore. Any of that shit. But I do check Twitter every now and then because I use Twitter for like, mostly like sports related stuff. Well, hockey related stuff because I only watch hockey, as you guys know.
Yep.
And I also check like certain bands that I follow. They'll like, you know, update shit. So I was scrolling through Twitter today, this very day, and I didn't realize that when I opened the app, it defaulted to the For You tab, right? Because you could change it now.
You can't be going there.
No.
Right.
That is a
There's
godless
following
place.
it for you. Yeah.
They might as well call that tab. They just should just rename it to Cancer. Because within 30 seconds, there were like 40 tweets that just enraged me to my bones. And I wanted to reply to all of them. The algorithm is fucking crazy.
It's a good algo.
It knows.
Draws you
bro.
in, makes you want to just spew some shit out.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
All I
Well,
get.
yeah, it's the I think Elon said like the more you interact with something, the more we're gonna show you of it. So like,
Oh, of course.
if you comment on something, even snidely, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna show you more of this because you interacted with it."
Yeah. So basically, all I get now are like just crazy Zack Snyder cultists just arguing
So
over
hilarious.
Superman and James Gunn and like who's a better filmmaker, like all this shit.
Oh, wow.
I'm deep in the fucking Superman combo right now.
That's a real comparison right now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There are, well, the cultists, the Snyder cultists, they seem to be, and this is, I don't want to, I'm sure I'm generalizing quite a bit, but in my experience, the loudest of them are like straight up like incel fucking like who's the fucking guy? The fucking incel dude, the famous kid who did the pyramid scheme, who got arrested. The fuck's his name?
You talking about
The
the
crypto
FTX
guy?
guy?
Who? No,
The
no.
FTX guy?
No. The guy who has like a fucking
Sam Bankman-Fried was the crypto guy.
No, not crypto. The guy, he's like the social media personality. All he does is shit on women, and dudes love him. Incels love him. Gamers love him.
Oh, you're talking about
Tate?
Yeah, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Tate. Yeah, Andrew Tate.
So all these fucking Zack Snyder fucking fanboys are like just straight up like Andrew Tate disciples. It's the funniest shit, and all they talk about is like, fucking want my movies to be manly and mature and blah 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 blah. It's fucking ridiculous. Today I saw that people were there's one dude in particular I always get recommended his shit, and he just has the dumbest takes whatsoever, constantly. And it's like
Red pill, bro.
today he was talking about how like if Superman if James Gunn's Superman is wearing red trunks in the movie, he's not gonna go see it. It's like, yeah, you are, bro. And then there was like a whole argument over whether or not the trunks are like mature. It's just the dumbest shit. Anyway, fuck Twitter. Gotta make sure you
Threw me
log
off with
on.
your incel comment.
why
I
I
know
have
that I
trunks.
describe Andrew Tate as an incel.
What? He's like the biggest incel. What are you talking about?
He's like red pill.
He's an
Yeah,
incel
he's
that
like
gets
he's
laid.
like an
But he's
alpha
not-
male. I can get any chick I want. I bang all kinds. That's not incel.
I wouldn't call him an
unless I
incel.
think
Yeah.
unless we have different terms of
No,
incel.
that's fair. I was going over like a general personality trait.
Right.
So yeah,
Mm.
just the angry at women. Like,
But yeah,
He's got a voice like an incel.
He
That's
does,
for
man.
sure.
definitely you could argue that is chauvinistic.
sure.
I mean, he's still, I think, in custody for sex trafficking. So
Just one dude made a comment. I don't even remember what the comment was, and then I clicked on his profile. He's just like retweeting Matt Walsh shit, and I'm just like, makes sense now. Now it makes sense. Anyway, fuck Twitter. You got to make sure you log on to Twitter, boy. You make sure you're on that latest tab because
My For You is not so bad. I don't get any of the crazy shit.
But the problem is you probably don't reply to a lot of shit. I do.
Nah, I just scroll. I don't even like shit. I don't even like shit.
I'm the biggest bait for the Twitter algo, dude, because I have a hard time just ignoring things and moving on. Can't do it.
yeah, I laugh at the political stuff and then scroll past it because I don't want it. Like I'll comment on crypto stuff sometimes or weather stuff sometimes, but that's really I just scroll
Weather
through
stuff.
Twitter.
Get into some heated debates on the weather Twitter.
You know,
Right.
Well, sometimes you got to be weather aware, you know.
No,
And,
that's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
The weather center tweets out stuff more than
Especially over there.
I get more info
tornado
from them
belt.
than I do from my phone when because if your phone's buzzing, it's too late. Like it's in your neighborhood, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's facts. More facts from Dusty. That
gotta
is
be weather
true.
aware
So,
in some parts of the world.
so I was also, you guys would be interested in this because we watched the movie and talked about it. But I was watching. There's this like series on YouTube now called Actors on Actors. I forget who, what channel it's on, but I watched one with Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler. It's always two actors just like kind of talking to each other. And Fraser was saying how when he researched The Whale, when he was doing research for it, he found out that people who want gastric bypass surgery to lose weight, they often have to prove that they can in fact lose weight before they're given permission from like the healthcare provider and insurance companies to get the procedure done. So they have to basically lose weight to lose weight. And I was like blown away by that. I was like, how is this even possible? I mean, it's American healthcare, so that's why. But isn't that ridiculous?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they have to lose a certain weight for surgery wise to make
Right.
surgery safer, right?
That's
Well, you
what
have
you-
to prove that you can eat less because I mean, like you can fuck yourself up if you continue
can.
eating at the same level. So proving you
Right.
can lose weight without it means that you can get on a stricter diet that will let you lose all that weight.
I
the way
feel
it's
like
supposed to.
that would be like that's like the nice version of that, but I feel like they don't do it for that reason. I feel like it's just they'll be like, because
Sure.
we don't want to like dish out the money to do it. Like basically,
I can see that.
I thought it was crazy,
Yeah.
and I thought you guys would find that interesting. But
Mhm.
but yeah, those actors on actors are cool. I also watched one. It was what's her name? My girl, Jamie Lee Curtis with Colin Farrell, and like both of their movies had come out. It was like right before the Oscars, or maybe it was after the Oscars. I forget. So that was a cool one. They were like crying and shit.
I think you posted that one.
Did I? I might have.
I think so.
Oh man, what have you guys been watching? Anything?
What have I been watching? Not much. I was watching a little Hey Arnold.
Oh shit! Classic.
I told you guys I was reading the Boondocks
Yeah,
comic,
reading
and
the
that shit
dailies.
is so good.
Wait, you like Hey Arnold, Marvin? I feel like you're a little young.
Hey Arnold
for
is
that.
good.
I know it's great,
No,
but I feel like it
Hey
was.
Arnold is right in my era, bro.
Is it? I was watching
Hey Arnold, Recess,
But
fucking
Recess was great.
Those are like right in my era of cartoons.
Yo, if you were a kid and you didn't want Arnold's fucking bedroom, you have problems.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, that shit is like every gamer's dream over there. Fucking motorized walls and shit.
Yep.
What was his friend's name? I can't remember. The Afro. The fuck was his name?
Oh shit. I don't even remember.
My head is telling me Skeeter, but that's Doug's friend from Doug.
Right.
I can't remember.
I'm
What a great
looking
show.
it up right now. Gerald
Gerald, there you go. Shout out to the homie.
Gerald Johansson.
Shout
last
out
name.
to Gerald.
But yeah, the Boondocks is great. It's I mean, you probably have seen the show.
I have never.
And
read
the show is good, but the show is way more just entertainment and funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the comic is like it's way more like political, I would say.
The comic is for
It's
a
more
broader
adult.
Yeah, it's for a broader audience who's reading like newspapers, you know, because it's like a comic strip in paper, isn't it?
That's
yeah. And the show,
I think it was in a paper at least. I don't know. I'm reading it online, so I don't know.
I see. Well, the show was on Adult Swim. It's still, you know, you gotta factor in the fact that there are probably children watching it. So
yeah.
But I do remember the show is fucking hilarious. The show
was great. I love both of them.
I didn't watch it religiously, but like if I caught it and it was on, I would watch it because it was funny as fuck.
Yeah. But besides that, I haven't been watching much.
That's fair.
Yeah. Doing some reading mostly.
Nice. Dusty, what about you?
Still watching the same couple of shows. Shadow and Bone, I started. I still need to finish it. I started with my roommate. We just never sat down and finished it. The last thing you told me is still pretty good. A friend recommended me watch Inside Man. This is like a mini series from a year or two ago. Stanley Tucci.
Yep.
He's like a convicted of murder, and he's kind of got that Batman or oh my gosh, Watson and what's his name?
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna let you figure it out.
Oh my gosh, having Sherlock Holmes.
There you go.
He's got that like perception, intuition, so he can solve crimes and shit. But he's on death row, so it's an interesting little one. But the show I'm watching the most right now is Silo. That show
is it good?
Is amazing on so many levels.
The Apple.
I was actually just added that to my list.
Yeah, it's Apple TV.
This is right up my alley.
This is like. This is like allegory of the cave stuff. This to me feels like because it has that that Fallout ambience. You know, they've been living down in this fucking tunnel for so long, and they think the outside world is poisoned because they have a screen of it. And if you're sick of being in there, you can ask to go outside, and on the screen you see them fall down and collapse and die. So you think it's just desolate. So we got to stay down here to survive. But it's not really, and so they're being lied to. So they're being shown something to kill. Like this is like if you were if you were underground because something happened, right? You know, say climate change finally fucked us all and we had to go underground for a couple centuries and you came out, would you tell everybody so that everybody could come out and pollute the world again? Or would you just keep them down in the fucking silos while you enjoy the fruits of the world and let it be like this? This has got some deep levels to it. I'm finding it fascinating. It's a good show.
Dude, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'm about to start that like tonight.
I heard it was good.
I think 4 or 5.
But it's a weekly, right?
Yes,
weekly.
Yeah, only
Maybe
4 or
I'll
5 in. So you could wait a couple more weeks and binge it.
I added it to my list, but I got a lot of shit I got to catch up on still.
Did you guys ever finish Yellow Jackets?
No, I just actually saw last night. I'm like 5 episodes behind.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's how you know you don't like it. Might as well not even finish it.
Well, I'm also
I think that's where I'm at, Marvin.
I'm also like 4 episodes behind on fucking Mandalorian as well, dude. It's like,
oh yeah, I forgot I started watching that.
I'm a couple back on Superman and Lois, but that's the only one I'm really behind on that I want to catch up on.
That and Ted Lasso are the only 2 shows I'm actually like keeping
I finished
up on.
that. It was good. Yeah.
But I was watching. So Dusty's been breaking my balls. Have you watched John Wick 4? Have you watched John Wick 4? Have you watched John Wick 4? We even thought about maybe like talking about it for the podcast, and I just never got around to watching it. And finally, I was like, one night I was kind of bored. I was like, all right, what am I going to watch? Let's watch John Wick 4. But I was like, I don't really remember John Wick 3. So if I'm going to watch John Wick... Go ahead. What?
I was going to say you could just watch a recap.
Yeah, nah, I can't do that. I'm a completionist, you know.
I love recaps.
Nah. Speaking of recaps and the Superman thing again, some dude on Twitter was arguing in favor of Man of Steel as usual. He's like, I don't need to know about the Superman comics. I read a summary of the first comic. I know all I need to know. Could you imagine 85 years of fucking history? You think you got
That's
it?
a little extreme, yeah.
Yeah. Nah,
I read the Cliff Notes to Great Expectations. I can write a book report on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I would never claim to know everything, but it'll get you. It's a summary. It's a
No,
recap.
movie
It'll
summary is
get you
perfectly fair. I just can't do it.
I
I'd
wouldn't
rather
claim
just
to
watch
be an
the whole thing.
expert from watching something like that, though. Not at
Yeah.
all.
But yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna watch John Wick 3 first, but I can't just watch that now. It's been a while since I'd seen the first one. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch the whole series. I watched John Wick 1 again. Movie's amazing, no question. And I'm on John Wick 2, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember really liking John Wick 2 that much. I saw it in theaters, and I don't think I ever watched it again after that. And I was like, all right, let's give it a go. That movie fucking sucks. And then I was watching John Wick Chapter 3, and I was like, this movie sucks even worse. So I could only imagine.
God.
I didn't even finish Chapter 3 while I was watching Chapter 3. I got like super tired. I just went to bed, and I just don't have the desire to pick it back up. And I'm pretty sure John Wick 4 is probably going to be even worse if the trend continues. It's like great, bad, worse, and now just like even worse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like we discussed, the first one has no plot in and of itself. It's just a simple movie of violence.
It does have a plot. It has a great plot.
Well,
it's a revenge story, but instead of
it's
the
a
revenge being
story.
like, you kidnapped my daughter or this or that, it's like, you killed my fucking dog, whom every
True.
human being on Earth could relate to because everybody loves dogs. We talked about this with Guardians, right? It's like,
Right.
if you really want to fucking make people hate somebody, make them abuse animals or do some shit to animals. Everybody loves animals. So that's why
Yeah.
it's a revenge plot, but it's super simple and hilarious because the way the movie is told to you, a lot of times when you watch movies like that, like revenge movies, like name the fucking movie and it's the same thing. You, the
Right.
audience member, as you're watching it, you have the reaction of like, oh, this motherfucker fucked up. And the cool thing about John Wick is the movie does that for you.
Mhm.
Rather than you doing it in your head, the characters in the movie are like, it's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to. Who, that fucking
Yep.
nobody? That fucking nobody's John Wick. And then you're like, oh, shit. He's going to come for you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And there's nothing I
Yeah.
can do
Yep.
about it. And that's what's great about the first. The first one was just great. It's just a
Well, and
creative.
it has that, yeah. I worked for your dad and you fucked up. You didn't know, but like that's a pretty interesting.
Well,
line of
everybody in that
story.
movie knows how badass John Wick is, except for
Right.
this fucking kid who just fucked up. Like
Yeah.
even John Leguizamo's character, he fucking punches it. I heard you struck my son. Yes, sir, I did. Care to explain why? Well, sir, he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And dad just goes, oh, and hangs up the phone.
Right.
It's
I
like,
see.
it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And then like the second one is just not good. It's just not as good or good at all. It's like way too convoluted with like the Continental and like just everybody in the city of New York apparently.
The high table.
Everybody in the world is a fucking assassin. Yeah, and there's the high table. and
Pretty
this and
much,
that.
yeah.
So that kind of just I didn't find and honestly, action movies like that kind of only take you so far, right? Like they're fun for the moment, and then I can't like
Yeah.
carrying 4 movies and now a show coming in September. Like it's just too much.
Everything doesn't need a world or a spinoff.
No,
like
well-
they could have just took the nobody approach, but of course there's no money.
Another great revenge movie, right? No, well, is that a
There's
revenge
no money
movie?
when you in.
Not really revenge. They're just fucking with him, and he's trying to like. I don't remember the
It
plot.
is
but
revenge. Yeah, I think it's revenge.
There he is, the Phantom.
There he is.
There's a new one coming out that I want to watch called Sisu. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer. for
Oh
it. It's
yeah,
like
No, it's
the
that's
Finnish dude that
that's-
comes across the gold and he has to fight Nazis.
it's a revenge
yeah.
film
That shit looks sick.
set in
Yeah.
World War II, which is like another
Yeah.
cool spin on the revenge
And
flick.
apparently he doesn't even speak a lot in the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
movie or
Just a
something.
No, that looked
gritty,
good.
It's a
gritty
badass-
brutal movie. Yeah, it looks.
Yeah.
I'm interested in watching that one.
But yeah, I'm just not interested in John Wick anymore. I don't know. Like the first movie again,
Yeah.
great, and the first one had like really unique action and violence too, because it's not just a guy shooting people. Like they created their like version, that martial art gun fu they call it, where he's like
Right.
doing fucking mixed martial arts while fucking shooting people in the face. Like it was just a creative thing, and then it's like, okay, well, I think we need to put the John Wick to bed. That's it.
Yep.
Let him be. So I don't know, Dusty. You watched John Wick 4. Was it any good? Like, is it worth watching?
It's-
Is it more of the
It's
same?
more of the same.
Yeah, okay.
You're not-
Mm.
yeah.
Well, it comes out digitally tomorrow.
John Wick?
Chapter 4.
I thought it was out already.
Not
Oh.
digitally yet.
Oh.
Comes out tomorrow.
All right. Well, I won't be watching it. I don't know. Maybe if I get really bored one day. The third one, I couldn't even follow the plot. Like I just was drifting off, like so, like not sleeping, but just like my mind, like it just didn't. I don't know. Didn't.
Well, they're trying to
catch me.
overcomplicate it. You want your John Wick to be simpler. You're like, well, what's he doing? He's killing everybody. Why? Because he killed his dog. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Whereas the second, the third, and the fourth, it's like, oh, now he's got a debt that we don't know about, and there's people in the high table, and there's this whole underground world, and they convolute it.
Well, they just keep
messy.
They just keep escalating, right? It's like so the first one, they bridge off the first one because I don't want to go on too much of a tangent about John Wick, but just quickly. They off the first one. They play off the fact that in the first one they kept asking, "Oh, are you back, John? Oh, are you back, John? Are you back?" And then by the end, he's like, "Oh, I'm thinking I'm back." Right. So in the second one, somebody who he owed a debt to, the Italian guy, fucking was like, "Oh, you're active again. I would have let you stay retired, but now that I see you're fucking killing half of New York, like, hey, repay the debt." He repays the debt. Now he fucks up with and now he's fucking. You know, he kills the Italian dude at the end in the fucking Continental, so he goes excommunicado in the third one. Now the whole fucking world is after him, and the high table's after him. It's like Jesus Christ. I couldn't even imagine what the fourth one's about. Is it like finally face off with the high table?
And the Continental goes excommunicado, and then it's all about him trying to
like he's gonna
get his whole life. Yeah,
he's gonna keep escalating. It's crazy. But so that's kind of the only thing I've been really. That's the only thing I've really watched. Fixed my sleep schedule, so I haven't really stayed up late. Usually I watch movies like late at night, but been going to bed early for me, like 2:33ish. It's been pretty nice. Waking up at like
early.
Yeah, that is. Well, Marvin, I don't know. You're like my fucking dad. All of a sudden, you just go to bed.
My normal bedtime.
What time did you fall asleep last night? Marvin and I was in Discord. He
Last night, I actually ended up
catch second
having
wind?
trouble going to sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
I ate and then I took a shower and then I had trouble falling asleep. So I didn't go to sleep until like 12:30.
You fucked up with the shower. That's what it was. But you don't understand, Marvin. Like, you have to be awake for a specific time. I don't. So it's like,
that's true.
For me, that's like, I think that is a perfectly reasonable time if you don't have to be up the next day.
Yeah.
Like between the hours of like 1 to 3:30. Eh? Like later than that, like, all right, it's getting a little fucking ridiculous. But which is what I've done. I've gone to sleep for the longest time at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And that sucks because then you wake up late. And when you do wake up like on the time that you want, you're fucking groggy and this. But
oh, yeah.
I've been going to bed. I've been going to bed when I'm tired too. That's a new thing for me because usually I don't just like, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Like I have to. My body has to
power through it, and an hour later you stay up for 5 more hours.
Exactly. So now I've just been like,
can't do that.
As soon as it hits me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go lay down, and then I fall asleep within minutes. And I've been waking up refreshed, and I have my morning coffee out in the sunshine. It's good. It's great. The morning sun is good. The morning sun hits different,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Morning sun is.
It's different than like coffee's delicious and great, but whatever. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Nothing much. So we missed 2 weeks, Dusty. You got any good news for us? I mean, we missed 1 week, so 2 weeks worth of news is what I meant.
2 weeks worth.
Not a whole lot.
What you got for us?
We still got the strike going on.
Oh,
WGA strike. We're on week 3 here. I don't think any negotiations have been scheduled. They canceled the Peabody Awards in person and the Tony Awards, I think, as well. They need writers for that shit.
There's been like 12 writer strikes, I feel like, in my adult life.
No. I mean, the last one was in 06 or 07, and then there were a couple in the 90s and 80s. So there have been a handful, like maybe 5 or 6, but not that many.
I feel like the one in 06 was like a huge deal.
It was 100 days.
Yeah. That's okay.
Damn.
So, yeah.
How long is this one been going so far?
This
Did you
3
say
weeks,
that? I'm sorry.
21 days. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll see how long it goes on. It's starting to affect fall shows and movies. Just to jump over to Disney real quick. It seems like, what's his name? Jeff Snyder from Above the Line was on the Hot Mic podcast, and he said Jeff Loveness is out on King Dynasty, and I believe his script was done pre-strike. So now they can't write it because there's a writer's strike, so they need to redo it all. But
is there a reason why he's out?
I apparently, there was some criticism from Ant-Man, and then he
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
the script, and I think Jeff Snyder said that he had some critiques about the script that he had for Kang Dynasty, and they were just
Who's Jeff Snyder?
He's from Above the Line. He's an insider that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just
So
an insider that was on a
basically,
podcast talking about it.
people like unanimously hated Quantumania, and they fired his ass.
That's what it sounds.
I'm
like,
a big
yeah.
fan of that because
So
Quantumania was
they're
terrible.
looking for somebody to write the script, but they really can't without the strike going on.
Right.
Hey, listen, I don't remember when we talked about. I said it on the podcast. I know that. I don't know if it was the day you were gone, Dusty, or if all three of us, but I think I said it to just Marvin when it was just me and him. But maybe the writer's strike will be a good thing for Marvel because, as we've talked about many times, one of their big issues, I think, is the amount of content that they're releasing. So maybe this is just going to force them to kind of fucking ease up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, they've already taken a step back, and it seems like this is making them take an even further look to
That's
maybe
good.
step back a little bit more.
That's good because let me tell you something. Again, we talked about it. We got a taste of what Marvel used to be when it's fucking brilliant, and that was Guardians 3.
Right.
And like every movie was like that, like on that level. I mean, obviously some are way better than others, but I need it back, Marvin. It could be done.
Apparently, Kevin Feige was so disappointed with the Echo series that they reshot most of it. Like,
and
Damn.
not
it was
only
going
that,
to be 8 episodes.
That's
It was
great.
going to be 8 episodes, and he was like, "Well, maybe we can cut it down to 4, 6 in post." But they just decided to reshoot everything, and he
Maybe-
had his hand on it. So,
so maybe Feige's taking the power back.
I respect that.
Maybe the
That's good.
rumors were true that he was spread too thin.
it's plausible. I mean, we've talked.
Now
about
he's
it,
back
so,
putting his fucking foot down.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. So the other thing too, they just announced that. So because next month, June, is the release of Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they gave a date on Echo, but they did announce they're just releasing it all in one shot,
Yeah. Yes, they did. It's official. So,
which tells
the
me they
official
don't
news on
even give
that,
a fuck about it.
We got a new season of Loki starts streaming October 6th, 2023, and all episodes of Echo drop November 29th, 2023. So it looks like they're going to release Loki episodically, and Echo is they're just releasing all of it on November 29th. It's
That
just
means it
coming out at
sucks
the end of
ass because that's the first time they've done that.
Probably, yeah.
the year. So,
And but like, you know what too? It's like, so this is where like, okay, so who?
which kind of scares me because that's going to be like Kingpin, you know?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna save Kingpin is dead right now, but I don't think they're gonna bring him back for Echo. I think they would wait probably till the Daredevil series, if anything. But like, who out there is clamoring for an Echo series? Like,
I don't even know what the fuck it is.
She's the fucking like adopted daughter of Kingpin, and she's got like, she's deaf, so she has like sort of Daredevil-ish powers, but minus his blindness type of thing. Like Daredevil uses like echolocation, kind of like a fucking bat, almost, because he's blind.
She uses her eyes.
Well, she just has heightened senses. I don't know. It's
Got
best not to explain. I don't know that much about her because
It's
that's the
best
thing. It's like
not to explain
like
it.
no one, like who fucking cares about her? Like that's what I'm saying. Like why does everybody need their own show? Not everybody needs their own show. Not everybody needs their own movie.
That's a fact. You know what? Everybody could use a special presentation, 45 minutes.
That's true. And Dusty,
Bring it back. More.
Didn't you report last time that they're kind of mulling over the idea of whether Silver Surfer is going to be a feature or a special
a feature
presentation?
film, a series, or a special
Nah,
presentation?
Marvin, you.
They got it all fucked up.
Nah, Marvin, listen. It's Silver Surfer. We want a feature for this one. This is the one we want.
We want a feature. Yeah,
we want a feature.
We definitely
for
want a feature. No, for sure. I agree.
for Silver Surfer. There's a lot to explore with that guy. If they're gonna do a fucking like a not a prequel, but if they do like an origin story of him, or oh god, anyway. What else we got, Dusty? What else we got?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. There's a lot of news about it, mainly in James Gunn said this or confirmed that. I'm not really going to report on it. Something we didn't talk about, unless I'm misremembering. This was the first F-bomb in
We
an
talked
MCU
about it.
movie.
I think we talked about it, yeah.
because I don't remember specifically talking about. But James was talking about it, and he said we put it in the cut, and it was just so damn funny. And I was like, oh man, Disney is going to make me take this out, aren't they?
And they didn't.
They never made me do anything, and I'm like, this is the first time they're gonna make me do something, and I'm gonna be bummed out. Which apparently Kevin Feige responded and was like, well, the Russo brothers almost did it in Endgame, but they didn't want that to be part of their legacy, so we took it out. And James Gunn, like, I don't mind being the first person to drop an F-bomb in the MCU because it was a funny line. Like, it was, and he almost said it, like, he's even Pratt, he's like, I tried to get in there a couple times. And I remember the first time was in the first one where they go to meet the Collector, and the chick, the slave, just loses her mind and grabs the fucking stone and blows up. And he's all,
Oh yeah.
what the and then they cut it. Like, that was the first time he tried to do it. So when he told fucking Nebula, like, just open the fucking door.
I had, I think I had said,
that was good.
It seems like it's Marvel like warming up. Obviously, he told the story, but they're obviously warming up to the idea of more mature content, which obviously is necessary if you're gonna do a Blade movie and bring Punisher back and, like, you know, Deadpool and all this stuff. So that's cool. Dusty, do you have it on your news on the docket for tonight about the Superman cast rumors?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, so I'll hold off
when we get over there. Yeah,
because
go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna suck James Gunn's dick a little bit, but I'll wait.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's see. Do you want to say R.I.P. to Ray Stevenson? He's an actor.
R.I.P.
His next, I guess, his first posthumous show will be Ahsoka. I don't know. He was in a.
Oh, he's gonna be in Ahsoka.
He was like the Dark Jedi or whatever. The great. I don't know. We don't know what he is. He's the guy that was, swinging the orange lightsaber around in the trailer.
I made a joke,
which we haven't seen yet.
To Ed. Shout out to Ed.
Shout out.
I made a joke. I kind of feel bad about it because he's dead, but it was about him being dead. Now, I don't know if you know this, Marvin, but Ray Stevenson he played the Punisher in a movie called Punisher Warzone.
Yeah.
Was it terrible?
The movie was fucking absolutely terrible, but he was actually a pretty good Punisher. He looked very much like the Punisher from the comic books, most notably like the best Punisher comic books. But Ed and I make fun of the movie all the fucking time because it's just really fucking bad and, like, really over the top. And there's a line in the movie where he's talking to a priest friend of his, and the priest, like, says this prayer and says something about God, and then Frank goes, sometimes I'd like to get my hands on God. And it's just like the cheesiest thing. So I messaged Ed today. I was like, I sent him the news that he died, and I was like, God's fucked. So it was a funny joke.
That's good. Yeah, that is funny.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. And then Easy. I call him Easy EA. His name on Xbox is EA, and I've always called him Easy EA because Easy E. But he made a funny. He made a funny reply. He said, he said, damn, Big G's fucked for sure. That was funny.
Big G.
Yep. So, rip God.
Yep, rip God.
It's been real.
That's nice. Marvel Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello is back. This time dropping us with a little information about Ki-Hee Kwan.
Is this the guy that fucking, like, has been, like, super accurate about all his, like, leaks and stuff?
Has been accurate on more, I think, more accurate than missed, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think generally when they report on something, it's relatively been accurate and not rather than inaccurate. So yeah, pretty good scooper. Ki-Hee Kwan will play a character named Ouroboros in Loki season 2. Allegedly, don't know. That's all we know about that. But I think it was teased that Ki-Hee was going to be in it, and then My Time to Shine Hello said yes, playing the character Ouroboros in Loki. So
nice.
We knew he was joining the MCU. We just didn't know how. Also reported that Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is going to be named, guess, Heir to the Empire, based on Timothy Zahn's 1991 novel about Grand Admiral Thrawn. So that's the alleged name for.
And they're going to do a movie about that?
Yeah, so all these shows that we're getting right now,
or lead
Ahsoka
up
and
to
The
them.
Mandalorian, are going to lead up to Heir to the Empire, which is Grand Admiral Thrawn coming in. And
So he's going to be the
fucking shit up.
Thanos of this little
He is
universe.
the Thanos. Yes, he's the Thanos of this miniseries.
Now, see this,
arc.
but so this is where I wonder how they're going to bridge the gap between that and what the current unit, because that takes place after Return of the Jedi, all those events, and it's
Correct.
like it's Heir to the Empire is basically Thrawn was like one of Palpatine's apparently many contingency plans, right? And so I'm curious how what they're gonna do to explain the gap, like how we get from that to the New Order or the First Order. Rather.
Well, I think it takes place in like we're only like 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
No, I know.
This is like the Obi-Wan show is basically the timeline we're in right
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like the new movies,
Yeah.
we know we're getting another Rey thing, and like Rey's story, that story is 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So I need to know what happens in that time period where we go from like the remnants of the Empire to the First Order. Like I'm just very curious how they're going to do that, because it's very clear a lot of the stuff. There's little bits and pieces in these shows, at least in this season of Mandalorian, where they're like starting to sort of clean things up. That was just like plot holes because of like the new trilogy. So anyway.
Well, it's hockey season.
Sure is. Speaking of which,
80s, 90s TV star Jaleel White was at an Edmonton Oilers game.
Oh, man.
And he confirmed
real quick,
he is joining the Star Wars universe role for Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Interesting. Breaking news. Florida Panthers took game 3, Marvin. Sorry.
Yeah. One game away. I could have told you that.
Not good.
This is the Star Wars show with Jude Law. I think it's November, December, maybe when they start shooting. He's going to play a pirate, but he did confirm he's I don't know if you guys know who Jaleel White is.
I don't.
You guys watched Family Matters. He was Steve Urkel.
Oh, him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who he is.
He's going to be in the Star Wars universe on the Skeleton Crew show with Jude Law. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's
I haven't seen
cool.
him on the big screen in a while.
And what
Maybe
did
he's
you?
been there? I just haven't paid attention.
Why does that have to do with hockey?
Oh, because he was at the Edmonton Oilers game when he confirmed that he was joining the universe.
Okay.
Nice.
And we talked about this before. This was all rumors, but this may seemingly confirm some of the stuff we talked about as far as with the Silver Surfer timeline and the MCU. Fantastic Four could took. Oh my goodness. It just choked out in my brain there a little bit. Fantastic Four could take place in the 1960s.
That's been a rumor for a very long time.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Well, here's some confirmation a little bit for you. Production designer Dante Ferretti was hired, and it basically all but confirms it. He is a timepiece set producer.
Okay.
So he's worked on shows like Interview with the Vampire, Casino, Gangs of New York, The Aviator. These are all period pieces, so he's good at, going back in time. So it seems to be that we are going to get a 1960s Fantastic Four origin movie where we have a different Herald come in. And then when we get them in the current timeline is probably when we'll get Silver Surfer coming in. That's
it's going to be real woke.
yeah. And Strange, even in Doctor Strange in the last Strange movie, he actually asked Reed if the Fantastic Four were the ones who topped the chart back in the 60s. That's a line in the movie. So there's a little Easter egg there. So this all seems to be like lining up to be fairly true. We're going to get a retro F4 movie.
Now, let me pose this to you. Is Fantastic Four slated to be released before Secret Wars?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know the dates. Because I had been wondering, like I said, these rumors, the 60s rumors, the 70s rumors have been around for a while, and I'm wondering how they're going to bring them into current MCU, and I'm assuming they've just been like lost in time forever, right? Or like you have to explain why we haven't heard of them yet. If they were around in the 70s and 60s and they were like this famous superhero family, like people would know they exist. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It would have to be some explanation as to why we haven't. And I'm wondering if they're just going to like suck them out of the past, or if they've been lost in like a some sort of quantum entanglement this whole time, and then they're going to pop out and join the MCU as we know it.
So Fantastic Four is slated for 2025, and Secret Wars is 2026.
Okay, so that makes sense. So they're going to
Nice.
introduce them. They're going to probably play a big role in the Secret Wars. Okay, makes sense.
Cool.
Speaking of Secret Wars, there's a clip of Robert Downey Jr. that's been circulating. It's from when he was on Joe Rogan a while back, and Rogan was like, he's like, bro, we need you. He's like, we need you to suit up again. And Robert Downey Jr. was just like, he's like, I don't know, I did it. And he's like, all right. Rogan's like, all right, picture this. He's like, the world needs a super genius, and he's like, you guys have already done time travel. He's like, the rule is set. You could go back in time and pluck Tony Stark out of any point in the past or whatever and bring him back. And Robert Downey Jr. was kind of being coy about it, but I have a feeling that they're all going to be in Secret Wars. There's like no doubt about it.
Right.
But
yeah.
But man, it made me wonder, like, do I actually want them back? Like, or would I rather keep them dead? I'd rather keep them dead, but it does suck that they're not around anymore. Because he's just so fucking charismatic of a dude, like actor wise, like, and that bled through to the role. He was so good. And they're just not the same. These characters aren't the same. Like, nobody fucking cares about Echo or fucking She-Hulk or any of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Speaking of
staple characters, but you can't keep them around when you're casting real people to do it. So you have to reboot it eventually. We've talked about this problem.
Yeah. Speaking of She-Hulk, I don't know if we talked about it when we reviewed Guardians. I'm sure we mentioned it, but the CGI in that movie was so fucking good. And it's like such a stark contrast of like to like what She-Hulk was. Like we were one of the people like defending the She-Hulk. Not defending it, but we were like, it's not that big of a deal, guys. Like, let's everybody settle down. But goddamn, that opening of Guardians when they like zoom in on Rocket's like pupil looks like a real fucking eye.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
It's crazy.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, Rocket CGI was insane, which rightfully so. It's his fucking movie, but like, whew, all right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
At least Rocket's still around.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see more Rocket, right?
He
Hope
could
so.
do that forever because it's just voice acting. That's a lot easier.
Feige's putting his fucking foot down.
All right, on to WB. Max rolls out tomorrow. The brand new.
That's
tool.
right.
They're rolling in Discovery Plus into it. You can't get Max standalone. Prices won't change, I don't think, for you till like November. If you want to get Discovery Plus, buy it on its own. You can get that for like $4 or $5, but you won't get the Max stuff. They're adding a couple old movies from the vault and some other shows and stuff that you'll be able to watch on there, but not a whole lot's changing with it yet. I don't think we're really going to see a big rollout until the end of the year. Once this is probably like I guess it's actual initial release, but more of a soft rollout till they figure out what's going on with that. But Beetlejuice 2, talked about it a little bit, currently in development. We got some news like the day after we recorded, but it's been a couple of weeks, so it's a little bit stale. But Willem Dafoe added to the cast.
Some set photos have come out of what's her name is Lydia.
Yeah.
She's looking like Lydia. Crazy.
Yeah. Willem will be cast as in the afterlife as a law enforcement officer. Not sure if it's cameo or like shows up and says one line and leaves, or he's actually got a full role. But he does join Jen Ortega and Monica Bellucci as new cast, while Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and Catherine O'Hara are returning. Set to hit theaters September 6th, 2024. Tim Burton is behind the wheel. He was asked a couple months ago about it. He said, no, I don't think I'm going to do it. And when asked about why he lied back then or why he said what he said, I only know if I'm making a film when I'm actually on the set shooting. So
it's fair. That's fair.
Shove it up your ass.
Hey, listen,
that's basically what he told him.
Shit gets scrapped all the time. That's fair. Yeah. Marvin, you've seen the original Beetlejuice, right?
I have.
Okay.
Such a good
movie. I have.
That's one of my favorite movies as a kid growing up.
You can't berate me today.
It is so good. I can find something to berate you about. Just like I'll just I could name. Have you ever seen Terminator 2, Marvin?
Yep.
Okay, never mind.
You
win this day.
That's right.
Let's see. Superman Legacy.
Let's go.
James Gunn. For now, only one person has been cast in Superman Legacy, and it isn't any of the regular players in the Superman world. To me, that says my wife is getting a role somewhere in this movie. Go fuck yourself.
I knew his wife was gonna get a role.
Or maybe he's referring to Crypto.
Yeah, he could, but that would mean he already has a dog in mind, which could be possible. So I'm just saying, like, people, because we've got this report that I sent you guys, all the actors in the mix for Superman Legacy. David Cornsweet, Tom Bettany, Andrew Richardson, Nicholas Hoult, Emma Mackey, Phoebe Dynevor, Samara Weaving, and Rachel Brosnahan.
So apparently,
actors, but this may not be confirmed. This could be like casting call sheets where you need to come in and read lines to see. But I don't even know if they're doing that right now because of the writer's strike. A lot of people aren't doing it. So I don't know where this list really came from.
I have a few things to say about this. So
go ahead.
Apparently, Nicholas Hoult is a front runner for Lex. I don't know if it's just rumor or what.
It's all rumor at this point.
After watching Menu and the way that he was like an arrogant fucking prick in that movie, I think he would be a great Lex.
He's going to be Lex?
Yeah, I think he would be great.
I don't like it.
Why not?
He ain't got the body type.
Well,
he looks too skinny. Maybe they'll get him jacked up or something.
I mean, Lex isn't really jacked. That's the thing about Lex is that like he often in the comics.
But he's like stocky, right? Or no?
Not really. He's just a guy.
I only saw Lex like once in the original Superman.
I mean,
and
in the old Batman animated stuff, he's kind of buff like Bruce is, but he's bald. And then in some of the shows, he's a little bit skinnier. Well, he's just a brilliant guy, evil mastermind.
Lex's whole thing is that
That's
like
fair.
He takes it personally that Superman is just naturally better than him at everything because he's Superman.
Yeah.
He develops like this mech suit to fight Superman. So he doesn't technically have to be
true,
like a specific body type. It's more the personality. And I think Nicholas Hoult in the Menu, I think that's like a good Lex thing. It's like 1 minute he's like being nice, but like beneath the niceness, he's like this arrogant fucking guy who thinks he's better than everybody who's sitting in that. Remember how he was in that movie?
Yeah.
So I think that would be interesting. And I think Corn Sweat is the front runner for Clark, aka Superman. But I think he looks fucking perfect. There was I don't know if
what's his name?
His name is David Cornsweat.
Cornswet.
Crazy name.
Great name.
But there is a Photoshop done of him in the Superman suit, and it fucking looks the part, dude.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yep. But I found out.
Oh, he's 6'4" too. He's tall.
I found out that
does he have broad shoulders?
He can get them. That's easy. Do a little juice.
Juiced.
But I found out that apparently in an interview a year or two ago, he said, I don't know what the interview was about, but he said that like he would love to play Superman, and he said that on I'm paraphrasing, but apparently he said that he loves the darker and grittier take that Henry Cavill provided for his version of Superman, but he would love to see the character return to the more hopeful and uplifting version that Chris Reeve gave us, which is
that's a nice way to shit on the movie without shitting on.
Because let's be fair to Henry Cavill, it's not his fault. He's just doing what he's told. But
that's right.
I think this dude would be. I was a little bit I've been a little hesitant to be like super jazzed about it, but the stars are aligning, and I'm like 1,000% on board. I don't know. Did you watch it yet, Dusty? I sent you guys a GQ interview with James Gunn, where he talks about his top 5 favorite comic book movies. Number 2 was the Richard Donner Superman that we recently watched. Go check it out on youtube.com/R20podcast. James Gunn was just saying like all the right things about what Superman needs to be as a character. All the things that we've said before. I'm not going to go over it again.
All the things you wanted to hear him say.
I mean, that's what you would want to hear about a Superman movie. And then separately, in an interview about Guardians, he said something that like really sold me. And this is about Guardians. He said that I want people when they leave my movies, I want them to leave the theater having I want them to have more something like a higher respect for the person sitting next to them, or a new appreciation for the person sitting next to them, and I want them to leave my movies with hope and positivity about what the world could be. The fuck?
He's seeing ghosts.
You good, bro?
Yeah. Mac did something real weird.
That's gotta be a short. Oh my god. I thought this guy was about to fucking drop dead. I don't know what happened. But yeah.
That was crazy.
James Gunn's saying all the right stuff, like the way he just feels about filmmaking. Like, you know, he said also with Guardians 3, he's like he wanted like like all life matters. That was his like message of the movie, right? And those are all
Can't
very
be saying that.
well, yeah, not these days. You can't be saying that. But these are very
That's close.
very Superman-esque sentiments, you know?
Yeah.
So he's got me sold. My one little hesitation is like James Gunn is really good at like taking D-list fucking characters and doing something with them. That's been his whole shtick thus far, and he's great at it. Can he stick the landing on a very well-known character and do it justice? We'll see. We will see.
We'll see.
But I'm hopeful.
No fucking telling.
I have
he
faith.
wrote the script, set to begin filming in January, I believe. So they probably are going to get the casting lined up here pretty soon with the July 11th, 2025 release date. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll start to hear a lot of.
I'm surprised we're not getting
stuff.
a 4th of July release on that coming out the week after.
Yeah. I also,
That's
speaking
all
of
right.
James Gunn, I saw in an interview he was talking about Gamora, that apparently his original script called for her to die in Guardians 2. She was supposed to take on the role of Yondu, that like sacrifices herself for Peter and like kind of makes him like whatever. But when he like told his crew about it, they were like, "Really? Like I don't see that." And then he switched it to Yondu. And then the Russos were like, "Hey James, we're thinking about killing her off. How do you feel about this? Can you make it work or whatever?" And that's why we got what we got. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you think James Gunn will have his brother in Superman?
probably. He likes to use a lot of the same actors,
Yeah.
which I don't know why he gets criticized about. Like a lot of directors do that. Like
Most
It is what it
directors do that.
is.
if you're comfortable working with somebody, like why, and they're like good, why would you not do it? It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
The same people work with Tarantino. The
Yeah.
same people work,
Facts.
Yeah, Scorsese, like
It's
everybody.
Scorsese,
fucking
yeah,
Coen
it's-
brothers, like they all fucking do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's any
They all
different.
have their favorites. He's not.
Right.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not saying he is, but the people who are criticizing him, it's like, well, he's not he's not like a, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, what else you got for us?
The CW's new owners, Nexstar, have made some cuts to the lineup. Superman and Lois is not on the list yet. Some fear it might be on the chopping block.
I mean, obviously they're not going to run.
It's expensive to make those episodes, especially if they're paying WB for it. WB could save it. I know James Gunn wants to give it a happy ending. He doesn't want to cut it short. He thinks it could go another season or two, as we reported on before. So if they do cut it, it could be that WB picks it up and finishes it on Max. Who knows?
I read
it's going to be, or license it elsewhere. They could send it to Netflix if they wanted to.
they could do that. I don't know.
That would drive the Snyder people wild.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I read the other day that Superman and Lois is not part of the Arrowverse, even though
It's not. No.
his Superman was in Supergirl, and what the Crisis event they did. So it's like its own standalone thing.
Mhm.
Again, he's got my vote to play Superman. I don't like. I'm sure whatever. He's not going to be Superman, but if they keep running the show, I would want it to have something to do with the movie. Like I don't know.
I think they just want to bring it to a good conclusion.
Yeah, that's what they should
I
do,
think
is
they
just
have a little
end it.
story arc. Let's go. Yeah, 4 or 5 seasons. We got a story to tell. Let's finish it up and
Yeah.
say our piece and move on.
That's it.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that did get cut was the Winchesters, Kung Fu, which is a show I was kind of watching for a little while. It's pretty good, but it's kind of fallen off for me.
What show?
Kung Fu. It's
Never heard of it.
interesting. Yeah, this girl has her mom was a ancient warrior who protected ancient weapons, and she didn't know, and now she's got to protect them. It's got that cheesy CW feel, but it's a Asian action show with some good family drama. It's entertaining for a couple of seasons, but
Okay.
Yeah.
kind of fell out of love with it. But yeah, Jensen Ackles is fighting to save his show. He said he had 5 seasons mapped out of the Winchesters, but they canceled after season 1. The guy he's in Supernatural with, Jason Padalecki. I forget how to say his last name, but his show Walker survives because the CW likes that Texas love interest twang that they got with that show. So, anyhow, they've got a new company, and CW is going through some changes because Nexstar bought them up there, so we got that Live Golf thing going. But that's pretty much it for WB. On to everything else. Frasier star Kelsey Grammer revealed Paramount Plus is aiming for a October 1 release date to the series reboot, and it will have 10 episodes. Roz is back. Niles is probably not. Niles and Daphne's son will be there. Frasier also has a kid, but they are rebooting the show that it was a spinoff to the show that was known as Cheers. And this is kind of a fresh take on what they think the show should have been. So it is an actual reboot. It's not a continuation, even though it is a continuation. It's kind of weird how they're describing this, but
A requel.
yeah, a requel, basically.
That's right.
So I don't know if you guys ever watched Frasier, but it was a pretty funny show.
A friend of mine is like
I'm kinda
obsessed
looking
with
for
it.
that.
It's the only thing she
I
watches.
never really watched it. I don't think.
I just don't like sitcoms. I've told you this, guys, many times. I don't like
Right.
sitcoms. I hate laugh tracks. There's nothing about them that I like, really. But I've seen it.
All right. Well, Fast and Furious X. It's out right now, I think, with some spoiler cameos from some of the press movies.
Oh,
What was going to be a 2-part to end the series, finally? Please stop making them. Nope. It's now a trilogy. So, yeah, there's
Wait, what?
rumors that, yeah, there was going to be a 2-part series finale to the show, the franchise. They're going to make it a trilogy now. Instead of 2 movies to end it, they're going to make 3 movies to end it. They're just cashing
end
in one more
Nope?
time.
Yeah, but they're gonna be like 13.
Fast and Furious.
oh, Fast and Furious. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Fast
I
and
just
Furious
got so
franchise.
confused.
They're finally bringing the family is finally,
But there's 13 movies, so they're doing a trilogy of movies to end. I don't understand.
well, again, it was going to be a 2-part movie series to end the franchise.
I see. They're gonna
And
do
they
it.
changed
And
it.
now it's going to
Okay.
be a trilogy instead. So instead of being instead of being a 2-parter to end the franchise, they're doing 3 because why not cash in one more movie?
Yeah. Ed went to go see it because he thinks they're fun, but also very bad. He thinks, but he's like
Yeah,
Dominic Toretto's like a fuck. He's the only person that could beat Superman in a fight now. like dude's just out of control.
Yeah, I believe it. I haven't seen any Fast whatever.
I haven't
It's
seen
been a
Any
while.
of
one
them?
since the first one.
Not a single
No,
one?
in a while.
Oh, okay.
The last one I saw was maybe Tokyo Drift.
Right. Which
That was the
good.
third one,
I don't
right?
think Dan's seen that.
Also,
No, it's the second.
No, the second
Ludacris got his star, his Hollywood star, right?
one. Maybe I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The second one wasn't Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift was the third one, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the third one. I think it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Second
Second
was
one.
Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift, and then Too Fast, Too Furious with
No.
them and the old.
Nah,
Was it
Too
the other
Fast,
way
Too
around?
Furious was definitely before. Yeah.
Get it? Because
That's why I had the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the second one, okay. Yeah.
No, the second one is Too Fast, Too Furious. That's why they called it that.
For sure.
Third
For
is
sure.
Tokyo Drift. I specifically
Well, it
know
was-
because I didn't watch the third one.
Because it had the other guy, the country bumpkin guy.
And it's when
Right.
it's when the
That's
Asian
why
guy
they-
first showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho.
But yeah,
Uh,
Ludacris got his star. That's pretty interesting.
Like the Hollywood
And
Walk of Fame.
Yeah, for acting,
Why?
not for music.
He's like only been in those movies. I couldn't name another movie he's been in.
I don't know. Apparently, you can pay for a star,
Ooh.
or you can get, selected
Interesting. He's
or
got
earn
that.
it. Rather, I feel like he paid it.
For sure didn't earn it. Let's just call let's call it what it is. For sure didn't earn it.
Nah, he definitely did not earn it.
He's got that asterisk star. It's all right. Good for him, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good for him. Let's see. Oh, Showtime and Lionsgate Television are in the other stages of planning revivals for both Weeds and Nurse Jackie. That includes bringing back the respective stars, Mary Louise Parker and Eddie Falco. I never
Oh.
watched Nurse Jackie, but I did watch Weeds. It was an all right
Weeds
show.
is good.
Do you
I
think
like
we're
Weeds.
ever gonna get any more original content going forward, or is just everything gonna be a reboot?
I mean, it's not necessarily a reboot if they're bringing back the actors to like finish the storyline. They're cashing in that way, which is still kind of cheesy, but I
It
mean, if you
is.
have people that are tuning in and watch the show, like the Justified City Primeval, people are looking forward to that, even though it's just, 7 seasons fucking 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'll be interested in the Weed Show, but I didn't really watch Nurse Jackie. But we'll
We
see.
Show was pretty good. It was funny, but she
Yeah.
was already like older, and
Mhm.
now she's like definitely older.
Who was in
Mhm.
Weeds?
Mary Louise Parker.
I don't know who that is.
I don't think she was in anything else.
Yeah,
Anything
she's
notable,
been
at
in
least. I
some
mean,
other
she's
stuff.
been in stuff, but I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Don't know who she is. I just looked her up. Never seen her
Yeah.
before in my life. What else you got?
Yeah, she was in the Red movies she was the love interest in the Red movies, the woman that didn't know.
I haven't
Bruce
watched
I haven't seen those.
I haven't watched a
Wait,
Bruce Willis movie in God knows how long, because every movie he does now is terrible. I can't remember the last good movie I've seen him in, to be honest.
Okay, well, it's like 2010. It's Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren, Morgan Freeman, Mary Louise Parker.
Didn't watch them.
There's some great actors in that movie. It's all right. Anyhow, Super Mario Brothers 1.2 plus. I haven't checked. I didn't actually check this week, so it's probably it might be 1.3 billion dollars.
Let's go.
I don't think I'm ever gonna watch that movie.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I just don't care.
It is too bad.
I thought about it, and then I was like, every time I think to watch it, I'm just like, do I care? Like,
You're not a Mario fan. That's why.
I don't know. Did you have fun playing Mario Brothers, the game? Growing up at all?
Yeah, but it's like,
Well, then you'd have a little bit of nostalgia and enjoyment out of watching it. It's just a fun little movie.
yeah.
But Nintendo's next step is it going to be a sequel? Maybe, maybe not. But
Probably.
Yes.
Who we kidding?
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom producers admit they would like to see their product go to the big screen.
Then they're gonna
maybe we'll see a Zelda movie.
No, then we're gonna get a
Zelda's
shared
sick.
universe movie, and it's gonna culminate in like a Super Smash Brothers movie. And it's
The problem is, I feel like Link doesn't speak ever.
That's true.
What are you
It'd
gonna
be
do there? Like,
well,
yeah.
what story
I mean,
do
they
you
could
tell?
do it
You're
if
gonna
they do it
piss
right.
off a Zelda fan no matter what. Like if you're not doing
Oh,
Ocarina of Time
Oof.
or Link to the Past and you're using like the new games, you're gonna piss some people off.
It would have to be Ocarina of Time. It's like the most
It has to be
celebrated
Ocarina of
Zelda
Time.
game. Yeah.
It would have to be. It's so
Yeah,
good.
we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking up Bruce Willis's movies, by the way, because I really couldn't remember even the last movie I've seen of his. He has done so many like just D-level, made-for-TV, straight-to-DVD fucking bullshit movies.
Well, I don't know. This is allegedly. I'm going to make assumptions here, but he had that disease where he started losing it a little bit. He couldn't tell people's faces apart and shit like that. Like
No, he has that,
has-
yeah,
sure.
but that doesn't explain his taking terrible roles. Does it? I don't know. Maybe. Either way, haven't watched
They
one
got
of
duped into some roles or talked into some roles.
Duped.
Try and take care of some bills or
Bro, there's like
Duped.
100 movies on this list going back to the last movie that I've seen with him in it that I would say is like
what year?
his movie is Sin City sequel, 2014. Everything after that, I haven't seen. Oh, I'm sorry. I've seen Rock the Casbah, but that was a Bill Murray movie. Oh, and I've seen Split. Okay, fine. But
I've seen Split.
I didn't even watch Glass, and I've heard Glass is pretty good.
Oh, I forgot
That's
about
all right.
that.
Because like I just don't care. I'm sick of trilogies. I'm sick of sequel. I'm sick of it, except for the Marvel movies.
Well,
True.
have you seen Twister?
The original one, yeah.
What do you mean? There's another one?
Aren't they remaking it, or wasn't there a show or something?
Well, they're making a sequel. Yes, Twisters is what they're calling it. Universal is calling it a new chapter. We don't know if it's a reboot or a sequel yet. They're just calling it a new chapter, and I fucking hate it when studios do that. Just fucking tell us: is it a sequel or is it a reboot?
Twister. How much of a sequel? Bill Paxton's dead.
Yeah, Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton starred in the original.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's dead.
Yep. Brandon Perea has been the most recent addition to the cast. Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, and Anthony Ramos are confirmed on it.
Twister 2: The Revenge.
They've been filming here in Oklahoma. They actually, I think, turned part of Oklahoma City into New York City while they were filming here. It's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, some local movie news going on. But Twister was a pretty good movie.
I don't even remember.
For weather movies, it's
Weather.
one of the least cheesy weather movies. I mean, you know,
I couldn't even name
like
other weather
Sharknado
movies.
or
Oh, you count that? Okay.
the one with Cusack where the fucking water's you know, they gotta fucking
Perfect
get to the
Storm
ships.
or whatever the fuck. No, that's a different movie.
No, yeah, that's another weather movie too. That was
Cusack's
based on a true story.
That's the Perfect Storm. No.
No, Perfect Storm is the fishing movie with the guy from.
Well, 2012. That was a weather movie.
That's the one he's talking about. 2012.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the Perfect Storm was the fishing movie.
George Clooney. Holy fuck.
Yeah, you got problems.
I need to take some fish oil, man. I'm losing it.
Fish oil.
Let's move on from Twister. No one cares about Twister.
Yeah,
that will make $3 in the box office.
Nah, the first movie did well.
Yeah, but that was in 1996. Yeah, maybe it would be good. I don't know. What do I know? I went to see. I mean, I don't know. Theaters are like empty nowadays. Every time I go, it's just like 4 people.
The last tornado movie I watched, I forget what it was called. It was okay. Like the graphics were really good. With the CGI they did with the storm was amazing, but the plot itself was pretty thin and pretty stupid. But anyhow, yeah. But yeah, that's actually all the news we have. Unless you have something.
No, that was it.
That I didn't talk about.
Nice.
That's good stuff. I think the really
Good
biggest
news.
thing I've been seeing is like all the Superman Legacy stuff, but
Yeah.
that shit's gonna be hot. Every recording,
Yeah, no update
probably.
on Jonathan Majors. I keep seeing article headlines with, they're mulling it over. They're not sure what nobody knows what the fuck they're gonna do. They're gonna wait until if nothing happens to him, they're not gonna do anything. If something happens to him, they'll probably do something. But there's no news on that front because court issues take a while to resolve themselves.
True.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get into today's review. Thank you for the news, Dusty. Appreciate it. Your hard work makes my nipples hard in excitement for some of the stuff coming down the road. The hype train. But today we're talking about a movie that I didn't give a fuck about. And it's Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
Yep.
Dusty sent us this trailer. Dusty was like all over this shit when they released the trailer. I remember he was like hyped about the trailer. He sent it, followed up to see if we watched the trailer. So, when I watched the trailer, this is not a good trailer for this movie. It was not good because it looked like shit.
I didn't see the trailer.
I didn't care. I don't really like Chris Pine.
Why don't you like Chris Pine?
I don't know. I just don't think like he's fine. There's no like it's not that I don't like him. I'm indifferent on him. Let's put it that way.
I see.
So yeah, that's kind of my thing, but I just didn't give a fuck about this movie. I had zero interest in watching it. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons outside of references from Stranger Things and that like in the 80s, like the government thought it was like the devil or some shit.
Right.
Yep.
So I really just had no interest. However, my interest turned slightly when I was speaking to one of my buddies about it, and he brought up the fact that this movie was made by the same writer who made the movie Game Night, which is one of the best comedies out there with Jason Bateman. Have you guys seen that?
I have not seen that.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. Todd from Breaking Bad is in it, and he's fucking hilarious. Such a good movie.
Shit.
It's a great movie. You should watch it. But the person I'm talking about is John Francis Daley, and he's an interesting guy. He's been around the block. He goes all the way back to a show that I love, Freaks and Geeks. He was on that show as a child, which was that was the show with all like the that's like the Seth Rogen era people. James Franco, Linda Cardinelli's in it. Seth Rogen, Jason Segel. You ever watch that show, Dusty?
Yes.
Martin Starr made his debut in it. It's a fucking great show. So he goes all the way back to that. Then he was in like Waiting, like years later. Which is another great movie. He was like the kid who just never speaks. He was like the new hire guy. And then I came to realize that.
Goated.
What's that?
Yeah, goated.
Yeah. And then I came to realize that. Oh no, he got hit with the brain, didn't he? Oh no, he got the bat wing. The bat wing, yeah.
Got them all, I'm pretty
But-
sure.
But yeah, then I came to realize like he wrote, he has writing credits on Spider-Man Homecoming and Game Night and stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, this kid's got like he's been in shit, and I was like, oh, Game Night's fucking hilarious, so maybe I'll like Dungeons and Dragons, and it turns out I did like it for the most part.
Yep.
It was a pretty good movie.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so this stars.
Well, you don't have to have played Dungeons and Dragons to enjoy this movie the way that they
Well,
played
You
it.
just have to enjoy like fantasy, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get into that
If you
more
played-
specifically because I have a thought on that, and I want to know what you guys thought about it. But I agree for the most part. Yes, I think if you're this is a good movie for people if you just like fantasy films. Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
I do think though there was a lot of fucking references to the game in there that went way over my fucking head, and probably your guys's too.
Probably for sure.
That
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that I just didn't catch on to. Like I remember they talked about what was the city that they went to at one point? It was like Winters something.
Oh yeah.
Or like Helms. I forget they named a city and I was like, "Oh, I know that. That's like an expansion to the game."
Neverwinter. or
Neverwinter.
something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So like
that's right.
so those
yeah.
things I knew, but I don't know what they are. Like I just have heard them in my life.
Right.
But yeah, this stars Chris Pine, as we mentioned, Michelle Rodriguez, Regé-Jean Page, whom he was the guy in The Gray Man. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was Carmichael. Remember we
Nope,
made fun of his
don't
acting?
remember.
He was the bad actor in Gray Man, remember?
Oh yeah, he was terrible. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
He was definitely better in this.
Yeah. And Hugh Grant's in
Which
this.
is funny considering the character he played in this.
Well, I don't
Right.
think there's really like no. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Hugh Grant was good in this.
Yeah.
Sophia Lillis, who I was happy to see, she played in the It movies that came out recently. Yeah, I liked her in that movie. She played a good role in that. And then we
It
had
was her.
a girl by the name of Daisy Head played one of our villains here. And the story, this is just about, so basically Chris Pine plays a charming thief by the name of Edgin or Edgin. I don't know how you really pronounce it. And we get a nice little synopsis of his backstory in the beginning of the movie. Basically, he was like working for this guild called Harper's Faction, which is like a network of spies devoted to fighting bad guys, essentially. And he put a red wizard away, and the red wizard took revenge and killed his wife and left him with his baby daughter. And
Well, he stole from the wizard.
yes,
That's why.
we find that
yeah.
out at the end of the movie. He admits it that he got his thieving hands on some shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
apparently red wizards mark their stuff. So got his wife killed, left with his baby daughter, and then he meets Michelle Rodriguez's character Holga, and they kind of form this little like band of thieves to make ends meet. And Holga helps him raise their child, and is essentially part of the family. The child was played by Chloe Coleman, by the way. Her name is Kira. And that's basically our little synopsis. But on a little thieving expedition, things go awry, and him and Holga get thrown into jail for over a year. His daughter Kira gets left in the hands of Forge, which is played by Hugh Grant. And when they get out of prison, they go to pick up the daughter and find out that good old Forge was up to no good. He's keeping the daughter. He's built a little empire for himself, and he's got this super powerful fucking wizard or mage, which is Sophina, basically doing his dirty work. And the whole movie is about them trying to get the daughter back, basically. They're devising a plan to do that. So fun little adventure movie, but I got to tell you, this is like two different movies, this felt like to me. It's a fucking long runtime. I'm sure Marvin hated that because we know Marvin hates long runtimes.
It was a little long.
2 hours and 14 minutes, but it feels like two separate 1 hour movies because the first half of this movie was fucking terrible, I thought, and the second half was great. I could not, dude. When I tell you,
What was the turning point for you?
turning
like,
point
when
was
you-
when they fight the dragon and when they were going to get the helmet.
Yeah.
That's
That
when the
was
movie.
very entertaining.
That's when the movie takes a turn. But up until that, it is just boring. I thought it was unfunny. I thought any of the jokes that they tried to do were just like forced and not landing for me. I was very
Yeah.
disinterested.
Yeah, like what's wrong with my lips?
Well, when they
Your
escape when
face.
the
What?
oh yeah, when they escape when the bird, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was
In the beginning,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah, but we granted your parole.
When he kept asking for Jonathan, I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. He's like, he would really understand.
Well,
I
Marvin,
thought that was.
it's Jonathan, not
It's
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
That's what's funny
Yes.
about it. That's what
Yes.
I was laughing at that because I couldn't. At first, I was like, "Is he just mispronouncing it?" But no, it was actually
Right.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. I don't know. The first half of the movie just really, I was bored to tears. I like had trouble focusing. I was on my phone a lot of the time. I was like ready to turn it off, honestly. But I'm glad I stuck it out because it definitely it has a little bit of a comeback, and that again, that turning point was when they go fight the dragon and get the helmet, and then like. I don't know why the first half was like so. It really feels like there was like two.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought they were built. They were introducing the characters like I think they
The
met the
mage.
shapeshifter Doric.
Mhm.
Yeah, what was the mage's name? I forgot what his
Simon.
name was. Simon, and they introduced him. So with the backstory of
It was just-
them doing the heist or whatever, I thought it was all right. I thought it was good.
I don't know. It just felt like I can't even really put my finger on it because really it feels like the movie just completely changed. It almost felt like they shot the movie separately, and honestly, in the first half of the movie, there was like I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there was like I think 10 to 15 examples of ADR on Michelle Rodriguez specifically.
ADR.
Yeah, where they re-record the voice in post and put it in,
Oh, I didn't notice it at all.
and it
No.
was like jarring.
Wow.
There was one scene that I remember specifically in the bar when they were in the bar talking, and then before they go leave, and it's just I don't know. There's a lot of ADR in that, and so I don't know. I wonder if like they like reshot a lot of stuff. So I don't know. The first half just had a completely different tone to me. It was just like I don't know how to explain it. It was just all of a sudden, boom, immediately got entertaining.
It's fair.
It feels like the movie plays out like
There's
an
a lot of
actual
introduction.
Dungeon and Dragons campaign, except
Right.
for us, the viewer, you have to get like 30, 45 minutes of character introduction. And then you get into the story or the campaign of the game, which you're playing. And it's like you're starting off at the level 1 storyline. You're a level 1 character. It's going to be a little boring and stupid at first until
That's
you get
true.
strong enough to go fight the fucking dragon. So
That's fair.
it kind of
like that.
plays into that whole campaign mantra where it starts off a little slow and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. But I get what you're saying. It was a little slow at first.
And again, a lot of the stuff in the reason I was saying I wanted to hold off on talking about the like Easter egg things or the references. I would venture to guess a lot of stuff in the first half of that movie is like again just stuff going like way over my head. So maybe it was like carried by in some of that exposition of like references to the game and like nerds are just like ooh, like
Oh, sure.
it could be carried like that. So without
I like the
those-
fight where he's got his hands tied and she's kicking everybody's ass and he finally
He's just trying to get free.
finally gets done. Yeah, well,
So
I mean, but
funny.
that like goes into the whole
Yeah.
campaign of like, you know, you're rolling the dice trying to get free and you roll fucking,
Yeah.
you know, a 1 or a 2 and you don't get the luck and you're just sitting there. Yep. Oh, you're doing great. You're there.
I do think though
I thought the portrayal of magic throughout the movie was pretty good.
I did too. Yeah.
All the little gadgets, like the
Mhm.
helmet.
Yep.
Simon with his little fucking spinny wheel thing
Yep.
that was
Mhm.
basically carrying him.
The visuals
And then,
were all.
and then the staff. Yeah.
I think the visuals were all really good. The CGI was great.
Yeah. The staff was cool. The fucking portal.
Yeah, the staff was dope. It was literally like Portal, the game. I wonder.
It
if
was
that
his
like,
portal.
a
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
Except it didn't have blue and orange. So
I think like if you have played some type of RPG game, you could probably enjoy this.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
movie.
I think Doric's powers and abilities was really cool. Like when they showed her transforming and stuff.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Like that was sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do, but a lot of that stuff for me came in the second half. Like that's when they really
It
start
did.
using magic and when they really start like doing the adventurous stuff.
Right.
Where like in that first half, they're just going from place to place, like talking a lot of the time.
A lot of
You gotta have
introduction.
that
It was slow.
exposition, like you said. You know, who are these people? They're in jail. They break out.
Yeah.
Now they got to go find his daughter. Now they got to go talk to the guy that's taking care of his daughter. Now they got to figure out that he's
Yeah.
the bad guy. Now they got to go on a mission.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of exposition build up for sure. Probably a little too much, but
I think a little too much.
I think
Right.
huge fans of Dungeons and Dragons probably.
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
a little
for
more
sure,
than we do.
absolutely. But I will say though, I think the movie does work for just your everyday moviegoer who just wants to watch like a fun
Oh yeah.
adventure movie about magic and stuff like that. It reminded me like a newer take on like, and I'm sure this was intentional, but like, you know, you think of movies like Willow and Legend and A Never-Ending Story. This had a feel of those movies.
Shout
It
out
felt,
to Falcor.
yep, it felt like, and we can't forget about Atreyu,
Mhm.
but and his horse. May he rest in peace. It felt like it was in that vein of those movies. What was his horse's name now? It's gonna drive me fucking crazy. Gotta look it up.
Yeah,
Roach.
No,
No.
I wish.
Roach.
Artax.
Artax.
Yeah, rip Artax, the homie.
What'd you guys think of the fat dragon?
I love that.
I thought it was cool.
so fun. I've never seen that before. It was so funny.
The way
to me.
they made him move, like the way he jumped on that platform, kind of
He couldn't even really fly.
Almost smashed his tail. Like they
Well,
did some good job with
the
CGI.
reason I found that interesting is, again, I don't know much about Game of Thrones because, as you guys know, I never watched that show. But from my outside perspective looking in, it seems like dragons in that show were treated sort of as like just like weapons / pets,
Yeah.
and they didn't have much personality to them. However, in a lot of other dragon lore, like dragons they have personalities. Like
For sure.
they talk, they have motivations, they have desires. I'm thinking of a
Yep.
movie, what was it called? The last what is the fucking movie where Sean Connery plays the dragon?
Dragonheart.
Dragonheart, yeah. Yes, I am the last one.
The first one's good. They've made like 4 or 5.
I didn't even know that. So in like Dragonheart, Smaug in Lord of the Rings, like dragons have like, and I thought that was cool that
I
this,
thought you were gonna bring up Avatar, The Last Airbender, the 2 dragons.
that too.
It's good too.
Yeah.
But so I thought that was funny that they didn't go the Game of Thrones route where this dragon was like,
It's just a weapon of mass destruction.
yeah,
basically.
but this dragon was like an actual being that like, oh, he found his new home and is like trying to eat or whatever he's doing, but he's
Just
like, fat,
overeats.
but he's fat as fuck and like can't really
Yeah.
do shit. I
It's
thought
so funny.
I thought that was cool. But let's get into the comedy a bit since we're talking about it. I didn't really
Oh
find
my
the
God.
movie that funny, to be
What?
honest.
Simon was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Simon was the funniest part, yes.
For sure.
But I think the movie relied a little bit too heavily on Chris Pine's like brand of sarcasm, and he does that.
Well, and he was
Maybe.
trying to be witty with the.
Well, that's just Chris Pine. That's why I said I don't like him that much. He does
Well,
that in every
maybe-
movie.
yeah.
Really.
Maybe.
What were you gonna say?
I
Dustin?
think so. Go ahead.
Regé-Jean Page's character, the guy that he talks all dry and he makes fun of how he talks the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
There's
hilarious.
some good stuff in there.
When he was
funny, I
walking
thought.
away and they're like, oh, is he going to walk over the... Nope, he's going to jump right over the rock. And he just
Yeah,
walks
he
right
walks
over the
right-
rock.
No, for sure. Some of that stuff was very funny, but I think the dialogue that was meant to be funny at certain points wasn't to me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it felt
Yeah.
very forced.
It was more
Um,
just funny moments.
yeah.
Like, again, another one was like, I forgot her name. His main partner,
Olga,
in crime,
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
when she went back home to her ex, and he's just like this very small guy.
He was a dwarf, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got another bigger woman. Is like, oh, this guy has a type for sure.
Yeah. What was the scene when they were on the where
That was a pretty good cameo.
where Simon
was
like
so funny.
failed to connect with the helmet, and they were on the beach, and then they were gonna sit
Oh, it
on.
just kept knocking him back.
Yeah, but they were gonna all sit on the rock together, and Simon said something that really made me laugh at that point. I don't remember what it was, but
I can't
yeah,
remember.
I think most of the funniest parts to me came from Simon. A lot of the Chris Pine stuff, not so much.
Nah.
Yeah. So overall,
And yeah,
what were you gonna say?
and the villain, I thought he was funny too.
Hugh
Um,
Grant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot his.
Hugh Grant's
Forge.
funny in
Forge.
most of the shit he
Yeah.
does.
So that was cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. Michelle Rodriguez.
She was terrible in this movie. I was gonna get into it. Awful.
I mean,
really?
Awful. Horrific. Her dialogue was so fucking bad. I couldn't believe it.
She's one of those people who, when you go to see her in a movie, you're really not seeing her act. You're just seeing her be herself. And they're just giving her some
Pretty
lines
much.
to say.
She can't fucking act.
Like.
That's harsh to
Because
say.
I mean, all I really ever seen her in is the Fast and Furious, because it's all she's really ever.
She was
been
in that like
but-
boxing movie too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate to shit on actors and actresses when we
I
do
do
this
too.
shit, but listen, she was just not good in this movie. That's why I think there was like the scenes with ADR
I mean,
and like
the potato throws were a little funny.
well, I'm talking about
God, I
when
forgot
she
about
was
the-
speaking in that first half of the movie. It was just it was just really bad delivery. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't.
I could see that.
It was very like it stood out to me how bad it was.
But I also thought like I don't know, some of the humor, like when they got the new prisoner in and he's like, yeah, she didn't like being bothered. She's eating her potato. And he's like, yeah, fuck off. You know, he's like, more power to you. And then he's like, all right, another dead roommate.
Yep.
That wasn't funny at all.
Yeah. Her character was cool. I like that. Like, but I just didn't think her delivery a lot of the time was very good. I pretty much liked all the characters in the movie. Really, with the exception of the kid Kira, I thought she was fucking dumb. Like, I get it, she's a kid, but like,
Yeah, she was too dumb.
Yeah, she was just too dumb. Like, didn't even question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess my dad just left me again. Like, it was just dumb. That I didn't like, but it's like whatever. It drove the plot along. It's fine.
I thought the villain, the red mage wizard,
Red Wizard
was not a very good villain. I feel like.
Well, the motivation was bad because like we didn't really get too much information as to what her goal was, other than like to do the thing that the old Red Wizard guy did, which was like
With the
zombify
fog,
people. Like,
Create an army to take over.
it really wasn't like too descriptive.
Maybe there was some like lore or something.
It probably
wasn't like
stuff.
old. That was something that happened in another like realm that had already been taken over. They were just trying to expand, is how I understood.
Yeah, because that's what happened to
in the
Zinc
past.
or Jink, whatever his name was, Zinc.
Yeah.
The guy.
Zinc.
Yeah, but that's why I thought it happened in the past because he happened.
It did
to him
happen
as a kid.
because it happened to him. Yeah,
They kept it at bay, is what happened.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's right.
So they were just trying to do that again. And that was like a little bit weak to me. However, I thought she was cool as a villain in the sense that like there were times I thought she was actually kind of scary at times, especially when she sensed Doric in the room as a fly. And
That
she
was
was
sick,
and she was
yeah.
just like
That
she
chase
just
scene.
snapped to where she was and like fucking screamed at her. That shit startled
That
me.
was a great chase scene, and that was a good fight between like Simon, Doric, and her at the end.
Yeah, the last fight was cool. There was a lot of cool power usage. I thought she was pretty like scary as a villain. Again, while her motivation kind of was like
creepy,
shitty, but she was creepy. Her powers were cool, and you really got the sense of like, oh wow, she's
strong as fuck.
She's strong as fuck and really powerful, and that was cool to me. So yeah, I would
Simon's
say,
like rise to like being a good mage was good
that was
too.
also
I think
cool.
that was really well done.
Yeah, no, for sure. I liked.
We saw him like struggle and like doubt himself, and
I liked a lot
relying on gadgets, and then he finally.
I liked a lot of the character arcs, Chris Pine's as well, where his whole motivation throughout the movie was to get this thing to revive his dead wife, and then he
realizing
he's lying to himself, really saying like, "Oh, I want you to have a mother. Like I'm reviving her for the mother, so my kid has a mother." But really, it's just he wanted her back. He wanted his wife back.
How soon did you figure out that was going to happen?
Oh,
I'm
like
curious.
like right away. Not in the right away in the movie. As soon as she
second
got
time
hurt.
I saw, it was the second time I think I saw the dragonfly, and then he did the flashback. She's like, she opened the window. She's like, you gotta let it go. I was like, okay, we're not seeing her again revived in this fucking movie. It ain't happening.
But I mean, it made sense because like Holga is part of the family, right?
Yeah.
No,
her daughter doesn't even know the mother.
Yeah. She died when she was a baby, and Kira was like really attached to Holga. Like, for all intents and purposes, Holga was Kira's mother.
Yes.
So by the end of the movie, Michelle Rodriguez as Holga gets mortally wounded in the final battle. She dies, and Chris Pine realizes like, oh, I just wanted to bring my wife back, but if I really want my daughter to have a mother, this is who I got to bring back, and he revives her. So that was sweet. It actually made me cry a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little teary. So for a movie,
I thought Forge's plan was actually like a really good plan, and it was funny that was his plan all along, just to rob all those people.
Yeah, and it was a great plot.
And then he just got foiled, and like the plan just gets foiled.
Man.
Yeah, no, it was great.
That was good because it shows like he was still just a thief all along. Like he didn't want to actually be in this position of power. I thought that was funny.
What he said, never trust a con man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But for a movie that I hated like an hour of it, it really turned
around.
it really came around for me by the end, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. I'm gonna go back and watch it a second time, I think, to see if I feel differently about the first half. Because maybe I was just in like a weird headspace when I watched it, and I was just having trouble concentrating. But I think it was a little bit dry, though.
There's some stuff that lulls in it. I'd agree, but I think it's a little bit funnier than you give it credit because there are some good.
I remember the scene that I laughed at the most was when Simon was casting the projection of Chris Pine.
Oh, and it was started glitching out. Oh my god, it was so funny.
What did
There's already memes of that going around. There's already memes on the internet.
What did the guard say?
Him like normal and him with his face melted.
That wasn't funny. It was the black guard, the black guy, the guard's reaction to it. What did he say? When his face started melting, he was like, he said something like shook. He's like, I don't know what he was like. What is that? What is happening right now? I forget what he said, but it was so.
It was something. Yeah. I can't remember what it was.
His delivery of it was so funny. I gotta look it up. Hang on a second. I really want to look this up.
What was the meme I saw of it? The first meme I saw of it was like me rolling around out of combat versus me rolling around in combat. You know, when you're trying to dodge, when you're actually trying to dodge shit. Like you're good. Right. Well, you're good when you don't need to, but you're shit when you do.
When he deflates. Yeah. This was really funny. Hang on one second. Oh, they don't even have the reaction in this fucking clip. You kidding me? People who post to YouTube are fucking dumb, bro. Sick of it. But anyway, I don't remember what the guy's reaction was, but it was really fucking funny. Oh, was it a short? Hang on, one more time. Oh, there it is. He goes, "What madness is this?" It was so fucking funny.
Yeah. Like it was fucking.
That was the funniest part of the movie to me. So yeah, that
was good.
Definitely funny. Action was pretty good. The adventure was good. The plot was like pretty simple, but like did its job.
Yep.
So yeah, by the end of it, I really liked it, and I would watch a sequel to it. I'm sure that Dungeons and Dragons fans like feel way differently about this. Again, there's probably a large majority of this movie that's going over my head, but that's that it's just it is what it is. Sometimes I'm sure people go to Marvel movies all the time and don't understand all the fucking little references and Easter eggs and all that stuff too. So, it just
confirm
it just be like that sometimes. But I don't think that really ruined the movie for me, and that's great because it didn't rely on being a fan of Dungeons and Dragons to enjoy it.
And I love that he was a bard.
That was funny.
He's the main character, and he's a fucking bard. Bard finally got some shine.
The bard got some shine. Yep. Is there anything else you guys would like to say about this before we give our ratings?
I do think the plot was simple, but I think simple is good if you could do justice by giving all those Easter eggs to the fans, and letting the people like us that aren't really in tune with Dungeons and Dragons just follow along and enjoy it. So,
well, that's when movies based off of source material like that. That's when they're their strongest, right? When they don't rely too heavily on fan service and Easter eggs and references and things like that. Again, a movie I use as an example often is Ghostbusters Afterlife, because I think that movie really sets the bar. It is 100% reliant on this legacy character and the fact that people like the love that our society in real life has, like how big the Ghostbusters are culturally, how big Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, they are culturally. The movie very heavily relies on that, and then heavily relies on the fact that Harold Ramis is like a beloved actor and comedian and died. And that's like the main part of the movie. But a non-Ghostbusters fan could go in and watch, maybe like yourself, Marvin, can go in and watch it and still enjoy the movie because it has a really adventurous and fun plot to it. And I thought this was very similar to that. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think it's funny that I think this was a pretty good story. There's definitely a dungeon master out there that's like, my story is way better than this shit.
100. Yeah.
And I believe it because you gotta be a really good.
I wonder how many dungeon masters consulted in the making of this movie.
That's a good question.
How do you become a dungeon master? Are you voted by the people you play with?
You just gotta be good at storytelling and voice narration.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, if you're basically building the world and some of the characters and some of the turns that the characters are going to play, and you're basically leading people through a story. You're basically the narrator of it as you give them options and choices. Sometimes you have to play the NPC character when they come across something, but you're basically just guiding them and telling them what they can and can't do in their certain situations. So if you have a good imagination, basically anybody could do it. Like there's no like, I don't know, official thing. Like, you just do it if you want to do it.
So biggest takeaway for me, CGI was great. I was very impressed by the special effects in this movie for the most part. There's sometimes it was a little bit lacking, but for the most part, I thought it was really good. But movie as getting, at least on IMDb, high praise. And just to sum up what people are kind of saying about this movie, I'm going to read a couple of review titles. Wasn't expecting that. 8 out of 10. Tremendous addition to the fantasy genre. 8 out of 10. This is a funny one. The die is cast in favor of this movie. 9 out of 10. And
nice.
All hail Jonathan. So I think I'm on board with a lot of those sentiments. I thought it was a really surprising and fun movie overall. While there are a couple little nitpicky things I had about it, didn't really ruin it for me. I will go back and rewatch it to see if I feel differently about the first half of the movie. But it has a 7.4 on IMDb. I would give this a 7.
Not enough to give it the 1.1 boost, huh?
I'll give it the 7.5.
You going 7.5?
I'm with Dan. I think it's not. I think it's a fun movie, but I don't think it's good enough to give it a 0.1 boost. So
I really don't understand.
I'm very critical, so.
I just don't understand why I felt so differently about the first hour versus the second. Like I still, as I'm talking to you guys, I can't really figure it out. I just like the acting was bad. It was slow. There was not really much going on. And I think a lot of like the pitfall, like a lot of the little nitpicky things were overblown in that first hour because of the way the plot was kind of like slower at that point. So, but I'm going to revisit it. We'll see.
I watched it twice and I found myself laughing at some different things the second time around.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go back and watch it. But yeah, no, 7's a good score. It's over, Yeah,
it is.
That's respectable. Yep. And I thought that this movie was going to be fucking terrible, but I'm glad it wasn't. I enjoyed it. You guys enjoyed it. Viewers and listeners at home, let us know what you thought about Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Also, Chris Pine has a giant head, and that's off-putting to me. But that's I think it's the way he has his hair done a lot of the time. But but yeah, that's it, huh, guys? You got anything else to say or what?
There was that one funny scene that was like when Hulk was slamming Loki.
Oh, that was for sure a nod to the Hulk, because
the owl bear beating the witch up.
That shit was so funny.
That was a nod. That was a nod for sure. But yeah, that's good.
Besides that,
no, that's it. I'm good. You're good, Dusty?
Yep, I'm good. Good movie. Right. Give it a watch.
Yeah, definitely give it a watch if you haven't. Again, let us know in the comments somewhere what you thought about it. Join us next week. Same time, same place. That's going to do it for us tonight, folks. We will catch you next week.
See you.
Basta.